The principal mood we see is determination by business to continue to grow and to adapt to the changing realities that Brexit brings. But that's obviously married with a continued frustration at the lack of progress in the negotiations, a concern that we're likely to be heading towards, or could be heading towards, a hard Brexit solution, and also a continued sense of disappointment that there remains what business perceives to be a large gap between, on the one hand, the political reality and the business reality of trying to run a business and ensure the continuity of employment for large numbers of people. Most clients at this point have finished their scenario planning and are now in the process of implementing Brexit plans. Those plans vary from sector to sector. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to Brexit planning. It will depend on the industry sector, it will depend on the structure of each individual organisation as to what the correct solution will be for them. Matheson's role is to assist them in trying to identify what is the minimum they need to do to ensure continuity of business and continuity of supply to their customers. That's difficult because clearly, without knowing what the ultimate Brexit scenarios are going to be, without knowing even how long the transition period is going to be, it's difficult for companies to plan and to implement plans. So while you may be able to, for example, understand how many people you'll need to employ to ensure the appropriate level of substance post-Brexit, it's difficult to employ people to take up roles when they're unsure as to whether those roles will be needed or will exist, or how long a transition period will be before a company starts to really invest in a larger presence on the ground. So it's a difficult time for business, and we're working through those things with our clients to ensure that they get the minimum level of disruption with the solution that works for them and for their business. Our view has always been that the proposed transition period was too short, that it didn't allow sufficient time for people to arrange for what is a massive change in trading circumstances. We believe that even in a hard Brexit scenario, there's going to need to be a transition period, and so in many ways the recent discussions about the extension of the transition period are for us just a natural outcome of a realisation that the extent of the change that is required is going to require longer than was originally provided for during the proposed transition period. From a client perspective, the transition period is obviously very, very important because it impacts directly on their contingency planning. For many clients, the length of the transition period will determine how quickly they increase their footprint on the ground, how quickly they alter their supply chain, and so it's very important for them that they are given sufficient time to achieve those things, and most clients would welcome an extension of a transition period. Brexit was obviously one factor in our decision to open an office in Cork, but it was one of a number of different factors. We believe that Cork is a city that is on the move. We believe that Munster is a region that's on the move. It's already a substantial hub for agribusiness, for tech, for pharma, for life sciences, and we can see that continuing. Indeed, the government's plans for the region suggest that Cork will be the fastest growing city in Ireland outside Dublin, and that Munster will be one of the fastest growing regions, and we're looking forward to being part of that change and that transition. We also have many existing clients in the Cork and Munster region, and the decision to open an office allows us to be closer to them physically and to enable to assist them in implementing their plans, particularly in these times of change in a Brexit environment.